Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, TAMI Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey. Hello, friends. Hello. And welcome to yet another episode of the show. Got something fun planned for us today. All the hard work we've been doing. I'm outside this morning. Beautiful Sunday morning. The end of November. Taking my little walk. It was very rainy all day yesterday. And I guess right now it's probably like 50 degrees. It's very sunny. It's early, maybe about 8 o'clock. But what I have planned for us is to hang out here for a little bit. It's like I couldn't keep them both away. So we'll have the Pleiadians, of course, like they're always here. And then we're bringing in John Candy because he has been hanging around in the background for quite some time. I've been wanting to kind of play with him outside and see what he has us do. So before we get into all of that, if you're a new listener, watcher here on the TLC for the Soul family, then welcome. Settle in. You've probably popped in for what's going to end up being one of my favorite episodes. So welcome, settle in. You might even want to go outside yourself for this one. And I have a feeling he's going to have us do something. Okay. And if you're a returning family member to the show, then thank you. Thank you for joining us here. As always, I am grateful for all of you. All of your presence here makes the family more fun. Your high vibes and your energy contribute to our high vibes and energy here. So without further ado, let's wrap us all in love light and light love. And invite in the guides who are overlighting this show, Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron. And today we're joined by the Pleiadians. And holy shit, oh, sorry. And there's a huge hawk. Oh my gosh, it just flew in front of me. It was just in the tree right there. Wow. That's one of my totems. Hello, it's so beautiful. Inviting in the spirit of John Candy now to... He's mimicking me. He's awaken, arise. Great spirit. Oh my God. So now, I don't know if everybody knows who John Candy is. Let me just kid you. You want to introduce yourself? He's go ahead. Okay. So I don't know if everybody knows who John Candy is, but he was a comedian, an actor, one of my favorite comedic actors just because of the childlike wonder and the fun that he brought to his work. And I don't read a lot or about people before I work with their energy because I don't want to be tainted by stuff that's said about them in the media. So I'd rather just observe them energetically, which I do through some of my favorite movies. And then just connect right in, and that way I don't have any kind of bias. But this hawk is still sitting here. So some of my favorite movies with John Candy are obviously Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I have to watch it every Thanksgiving season with my son. Uncle Buck is another good one. There's one I can never remember, John Candy, what it is. With you, he's the romance writer. There's the hawk. Putting on a show. I have my dandy blend. He's like a romance writer. It's really funny. The one he did with Dan Aykroyd. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. Probably should have looked up the names of the movies before I came. But there's another one where it's The Great Outdoors, I think, with John. Yeah, with Dan Aykroyd. He was a member of SCTV, which was like a Canadian kind of SN. It was like doing compared to that, but it was kind of like a comedic comic skits and stuff. There goes a hawk again. It's flying right in front of me. It's like it's leading me somewhere. I don't want to go out in the street. Thanks. So anyway, there's many more. I just haven't done it justice, I'm sure, but it doesn't really matter. It's just the energy I want to tap into now. What I did read just from one movie set kind of thing was like everybody would be so excited for John to be on their movies because he would come in and he would improv a lot, and he would come in like just totally on point. So okay, and the Pleiadians are here too to kind of round it out. So I'm outside. What do you guys want me to do? Our listeners are here. Last time when we brought in Bigfoot is channeling Bigfoot was probably my other favorite, one of my most favorite episodes on this channel, because we just go way out and get all crazy. So what do you guys want me to talk about? So he's saying, put down your cup. All right, let me I'm holding my dandy blend. And he's like, I knew he was going to have me do this. He's like, I want you to jump up and down 10 times to like balance your energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he's like, shake your arms out. Kind of like grounding yourself. And he's like, stomp your feet. Oh my God, we're really going to have to sing. Like, what is it? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I think he would try to like, with the people that he worked with, like try to, that he's telling me, that he, here we go. Like one of his greatest joys was like seeing other people happy. So he's giving me like unconditional love, which to me always, I don't know why, comes across as tears. But some of the things he loved the most were seeing other people happy. And of course, we're not going to go into, unless you want me to, but I don't want to, but the dark shadow side of things about, overgiving and all that. So John, come on. What are we going to do here? So I think he did too. Like he showed me the other day, how much he loved the great outdoors, in general, especially the snow. We don't get a lot of snow here, John Candy, so you might have to pretend that it's snowing. So I am walking around in my big outdoor boots, my vest, kind of got my outdoor, he's like, get an outdoor mindset going. Okay. So be a silent wanderer. So I think that was important for him. Like balancing his energy, the outdoors, and kind of doing those like silent meditation walks outside and just like looking at nature. And he was definitely a big presence. I think that's why we saw the hawk. So the hawk shows itself, at least in my experience. You may have other meanings for why these are not red-tailed hawk. These are called red shoulder hawks or something, very similar. But why, it was a big one, like why it would show up for certain people, because they're leaders, they're big energy presences, and he was like a big earth angel, like a big warm teddy bear. And you almost had to like sit up and take notice whenever he was around. But he's saying you don't have to be like a big person to get noticed. I think he's saying, there's a misconception about people's size. Like you feel like maybe you're a small person like me. I'm 5'2". Am I 5'2"? I might be shorter now, but I'm 5'2". And, you know, I'm trying to be a strong, like build up my strength through strength training and all of that. But he's like, it's not your physical presence. It's like your prowess, your energy signature. So we're talking like John Candy, the higher self now. Talking about the energy signature is what's most important. And you've heard like people like, even like birds, like that hawk I just saw kind of had puffed itself up a little bit because it's just looked really big. There's a cardinal. Oh, the male cardinal. That's a divine masculine symbol for me. Yeah. So the divine masculine is definitely here through John Candy. He's saying, so tips he's giving. Even he's going to have some tips for the divine masculine. So it looks like he's starting out with the divine feminine, but there is a lot of masculine energy because the hawk is a solar, oh my God, I'm so out of breath, solar sign for me. John, they must have had trouble breathing. To puff yourself up like your energy signature, to make it big. And that's kind of how you increase your level of permeability is an interesting word to use. And I have a feeling angels are stepping in too, Pleiadians are stepping in. But to increase your permeability. So the more you, I know some of you guys are probably like, here we go again with the meditation. But the more you do things to bring down spiritual power through your crown. And on this show, we just don't tell you, oh crap, there's a dead animal. Sorry, it's a dead deer. Why are there so many? Death and rebirth. Yes. All right. There's so many things coming in they want us to address. All right. Keep me on track though. I'm asking for you guys to keep me on track and help me stay focused and grounded in these messages because I don't want to sound like they're all over the place, but you have to do something to bring spiritual power down. And so on this show, we don't just tell you like, oh, go meditate because you can hear that anywhere else. We're going to tell you the reasons why that's really, really important for you, to increase to everything, your psychic abilities, your spiritual power. I wouldn't be here on this show telling you about these things if I hadn't practiced these exercises or practiced them myself, experienced everything that I'm talking to you about, and can come to you from this place of, I feel like, can I say self-mastery? There's like, you can. Like, I'm not a complete, no one here on this planet is completely perfect. But I have attained a level of self-mastery of my own energy, my own spiritual power, that I feel like I'm enough of a spiritual leader to share these things with you. And I've had really good, spiritual teachers in the physical world and in the energetic world. So meditation helps you puff up your power. So if you're small, I know I've got a lot of empathic, I'm just going to say it, ladies out there who feel like, you're on a spiritual path and somehow you feel like, I don't know what happens when you start the spiritual journey, you become you feel like you're meek or something. Something happens. I don't really understand it. But it's like your confidence, your power center has to be rebuilt. Almost like the $6 million woman or $6 million man. It's very interesting. It's like all your chakras get re-energized in a different way when you start on a spiritual journey. And meditation is one of the fastest, well, no, I don't want to say fastest because we're not here to do things fast, but consistent meditation, not a one time like I meditate once a week, like consistent daily meditation to open up your crown and bring spiritual power down, spiritual light is one of the fastest ways to spiritually evolve and to upgrade your chakras and rebalance your energy. John Candy, this is not very fun. We're talking about spiritual power. And he's like, this is important. Okay, so what do you want to say to Divine Masculine then? Yeah, he's like, be soft. I really feel it. Yeah, it's like be soft. This is like a divine masculine SOS, a Sisters of the Sword episode, combined all in one with like a fun channeling. But he's like, don't be afraid to be soft, like a teddy bear. Don't be afraid to show your emotions, obvious things. But when you're a divine masculine and your heart chakra is truly open, you're looking to attain a level of unconditional love. Not like you don't have to be perfect, but you're not afraid to be soft, like a teddy bear, and envelop more of those divine feminine qualities. And the same thing for you women out there. You're not afraid to show and embody divine masculine qualities. And finding a balance is what's really, really important. That and spiritual boundaries, which, yeah, he could talk a lot about because he didn't have very good boundaries. And boundaries is the thing on this show that is a pretty important topic to me personally. And so we tend to like bring in guides. Whoa, is that I stepped on? Bring in guides. Oh my God, we've seen so many metaphors already. We bring in guides who embody or like to talk about having strong boundaries. Let's just sum up all the totems that have already showed themselves today. We've had a hawk. We've had a cardinal, red cardinal. We did have death and rebirth signified by the deer. And for me, like, I try to get better at not being afraid of death, and so they just keep bringing it to me. Like, I see a lot of dead animals around where I live, and so I'm trying to get, oops, sorry, in the microphone. All right, Pleiadian power activate. Right? Shape of a hawk. Oh, I get it. Shape of a red cardinal. So the Pleiadians have been showing themselves to us. Ooh, it's warm out now. Through these totems. I'm always amazed at the Pleiadian energy because it can be very childlike, but at the same time, obviously they're very spiritually advanced. And does Bigfoot really want to join us? Oh my God. All right. What was that movie? Harry and the Hendersons? That wasn't a John Candy movie. That was some other guy. Oh, John Lithgow, I think. He's alive still. Isn't he? I don't know. Anyway, John Candy's bringing me like some of the people he's worked with before. Did you work with Bigfoot? He's like, no. But he was fascinated by stories about Bigfoot. Oh, did you want to do the Harry and the Hendersons movie? He's like, no. Oh, he did that movie in the Great Outdoors with the bear. That bear. Oh, that's a funny movie. I like that movie. So, oh God, really? I have to go do 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 do. What is that? What is that from? Do 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 do. Was that the SCTV kind of theme thing? Some Canadian thing. Yeah, he's definitely. Holy smokes! This is funny. Canadian bird call. Okay, what's a Canadian bird call? Oh. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a Canadian. He's like, do a Canadian bird call, but I don't know what that is. Hey, you. You hoser. Okay. Oh, he's like, I made you laugh. Oh, yeah. I could just see how it would be hard to get a lot of work done with this guy because he kind of has me all over the place. Yeah, it was kind of like, look at the hawk, look at the bird, look at the body. Oh, my word. Okay. Very, very childlike wonder, kind of just like the Pleiadians. Holy smokes. When I do have to do a little teaser because I finished the Pleiadian power deck and I'm going to have it in my hands hopefully in the next week. But when I created it, Usually a deck is, guides come in, spirits come in, and the deck is pretty synergistic. Like, those guides stay throughout the making of the entire deck. But when I made this Pleiadian Power Oracle deck, we're going to have it for the holidays, you guys, because it's very winter solstice kind of a deck. When I made it, it was like 44 different Pleiadian children or Pleiadian spirits, childlike spirits came in, and each took a card and made a card. It's like a congruent deck in terms of the energy, but the cards are like all over the place. It's kind of like, look, I want to draw a person. No, look, I want to put a picture over here. So this is kind of how it feels right now with this energy. It's kind of like, look at the butterfly, look at the tree. Like I'm running around with a butterfly net and I'm all over the place, kind of like SpongeBob. Oh my God, this is crazy. Where's my phone? I want to just see. Okay. So, what else do you guys want to talk about? There's like a whole slew of energies here. They're like, can you walk in a straight line while you tap the top of your head? My God, this is crazy. Okay, I am just kind of walking in a concentrated space, so they're wanting me to go a little bit more. Okay, so they're wanting me to just like, don't be afraid to be seen. So I'm kind of back in a little wooded area where I normally am at. And they're like, don't be afraid to be seen. So go up more. Well, I don't want to go by cars because it's too loud in the microphone. Go tell people you love them. See, now that's a little weird for me. No, it's not weird, right? It shouldn't be weird. That's the thing. Like, it shouldn't be weird. Like, all those people over there, there's a bunch of people and they're parking in this empty parking lot and they're going to this church service. It's by my house. My house is surrounded by many churches. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 churches right here, like within a quarter of a mile. Very interesting. However, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about organized religion. Okay, don't be afraid to be seen. So, what else, you guys? Is that it? Is it truly just childlike wonder and glee? They are showing me like the glistening of the grass. So this grass is like beautifully, like dew on the grass. It's so pretty. I just really feel like this episode really reminds me of like Bob Ross on steroids. So, I expected John to come, and he does. Like the public part of him, the child was always there, but the public part of him, when he was around people, yeah, he got really amped up, and he wanted to like make them feel good and happy and fun and just have fun, and it really did energize him. But I think it was pretty balanced, extrovert, introvert kind of energy, because when he's out in nature like I am now, I just kind of want to walk around and just enjoy being outdoors. I don't feel like I have to impress anybody. I don't have to make amends. I don't have to make amends for my behavior. So apparently some of what he did, I guess, caused rifts between people because he was so out there. He's saying that, sometimes people just didn't get him. And when he was really trying to like build bridges, people took it the wrong way. And yeah, so us Earth Angels, like, he really was like that. Yeah, like a starseed. I don't know what planet you're from. Are you from Arcturus, like Bigfoot? Is that why Bigfoot told us he was from Arcturus? And he came down on one of the ships. He like hid out and came down on one of the ships. And John Candy's like, yeah, like, oh, starseeds. Yeah, so kind of like the only time he really felt at home on the planet was when he was acting, which is a role that you can play. You can be anything you want. Or when he was outside. And when he was around other people, he felt the need, to do service work like us starseeds. And for him, the service work came out in like making other people laugh, making other people smile. But he wasn't really good about working with his own energy, as obviously so many people are. Like, it takes practice. It really does, honestly, I think, take having a really good spiritual teacher. I'm so blessed personally just to have found Master Stephen Coe. He is just, we probably have past lives as like teacher-student kind of thing, but he has just taught me so much about working with my own energy. Even, they say when you think you know, you really know. And even though for many years, I've been working with energy, I've been working with clients, I've been psychically awake and aware and all of that on the spiritual path for a long time, I really felt like I didn't come into self-mastery until I started working with Master Coe. It's not like you don't have to go run out and work with Master Coe, but he has many free resources on YouTube. All right. So being an earth angel, being a starseed, where you feel like you don't really belong on this planet, like John kind of felt that same way, kind of like Bigfoot, but Bigfoot was able to adapt in a different way because he wasn't a human template. He wasn't a human avatar. He was like an Ewok, right? Like a giant Ewok, and he identified with bears. This is like where this bears is coming in. We go back to the Bigfoot channeling. I'll have to link to that thing. That's one of the most listened to episodes on this show, was the Bigfoot channeling. But he identified with bears when he first came down from Arcturus, and he said that a lot of the cave-dwelling drawings were not bears, but were him. He's going to have me going again with that. And I think, teddy bears have been coming up a lot lately, like soft, squishy teddy bears. And there goes squirrel. So, it's just like hugging Fraggles. It's Fraggles. It's like hugging a pack of Charmin. He said, when it's so soft and you can't put it down. Oh my God. All right. So, you guys, is there anything else we want these people listening to this to know or understand about? Golly, we've talked about everything under the sun on this episode. Earth angels, starseeds, divine masculine, divine feminine, spiritual awakening. Let me come sit down for a second. Sometimes when I'm walking around, it's hard to focus. Yeah, it is. They just keep going back to the, and now I'm hearing that song, and it came up first thing this morning. I really like that song, and I think the meaning of it is somewhat, a little different, but it's You Make Me Happy by Budgie. It's an old song. Oh gosh, okay, my bones have to sit down. All right. So the sky looks beautiful. I'm going to give you some nature time. I feel like, like John and Bigfoot kind of went off together to hang out and play in the energetic spaces. I kind of feel like they're pulling their energy back now. And I do want to say, don't be afraid to be who you are. I will finish this out with a story, just a quick little, like my son. He's 14 now, and he is like my big teddy bear. He's probably like, Mom, people are going to hear this. But he's not afraid to be himself no matter where he's at. he can be in the store, and if he feels like, if he's like that, was it Weezer in the Toy Story, where it's like, I feel a song coming on, then he will just start singing, he'll dance, and then when I'm like, Nayoka, you're in the store, he's like, so? He's, yeah, he's not afraid to fly his freak flag. And sometimes I'm still a little bit, I can be a little bit reserved, but I do have to have what is the other word? I have to have a balance between just breaking out in song and having discernment about where I'm at sometimes. So sometimes I will pull that energy back a little bit and just be it just depends on where you're at. I told you guys one time I had a story where I would broke out in song outside in an empty airfield area, just kind of playing and singing, and somebody called the cops. And I guess they thought I was a crazy person. And then when they found out, oh, I'm a published author, I guess published authors can still be crazy, but that was, it wasn't just some random. See, right away in the 3D world, you're pegged as a crazy person or a weirdo or whatever. And it's I was just singing songs out in the field. Even my neighbors were like, we love it when you go sing. And somebody got scared. One of these churches, actually, I'm telling you, got scared and called the police. And the police came and they were like, what are you doing out here? And I'm like, singing. Don't you know, it was kind of during COVID season. Don't you know it's COVID? So I was like, yeah. So I didn't care. I mean, they had to go through the whole gamut. Where's your driver's license? And let me run you in, and let me run your name in and all this. And then there was 3. It was so interesting. There was 3 of them. So it was so significant in terms of the number. There was 3 of them. There were these big burly guys, and they didn't want to hear anything I had to say. And they were like, well, you need to stay here while we run your name in. And I was like, oh, whatever. And then, I don't know why is this story coming in? It's stand in your power. All right. Anyway, so they found out I was a published author because they asked me, what do you do? And then suddenly, and then, obviously it came back. I wasn't a crazy person, or I wasn't escaped from a mental institution or something. I didn't think I was acting that crazy. It was just singing. You see it happen all the time. But then they just turned around and they left. They were like, we're so, I think they apologized and they left. And I was like, what? It took weeks for me to get over that. I'm like, why did this experience happen? But it happened for me to realize that, yes, I can be fun and all that, but you also have to have discernment too. You just can't go out of your mind and you just have to know your surroundings and know where you're at, understand what's going on. You have to find that balance. And that's all about the divine masculine, the divine feminine as well, finding balance within yourself. So that's just a weird way to close out this episode, but I have experienced many interesting situations. Not like that, but many things to validate or bring up spiritual lessons. So, anything else? All right, the next time we meet here on the show, we are going to be doing the December Energies episode. We will be bringing in the guides for the month of December, and we know December is an action-packed month of a major eclipse. Tower cards have been popping up in readings all over the place, and I think that if you see tower cards, I think that is just the eclipse energy coming in, this big solar eclipse to shake things up. We're going to have a separate show on that, and we'll just see what else comes up for the month of December. I did have the theme already show up, and it was Divine Justice is Coming for All was the theme for the month of December. Divine justice is coming for all. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So thank you all so much for joining me. It's 3333 on my counter as I looked at my phone. I love you all so much, and I will see you again soon in the next episode. Take care. This episode has been brought to you by Mugwort Mavens. You know who you are. All those not so normal people out there who just are a little bit more magical than some of our other worldly folks. Mugwort Mavens is here to support you with whatever your magical needs are, be it a sprig of mugwort, a mandrake root, or a blessed belladonna flower. Come to Mugwort Mavens for your magical needs.